Splatoon 3 is yet another example of why the Nintendo Switch is my favourite games console ever made, and that is because the game was released basically not playing perfectly, running perfectly, and jam-packed full of content. I played through the single-player campaign, which is fantastic, pitching you up against multiple different levels with varying different objectives, some just to get to the end, some to kill certain enemies with certain weapons, others not being able to touch the floor, all within like you think of a Mario 64 overworld where you just run around and then find the levels with tons of collectibles and hidden trinkets and whatnot to find. That is what the campaign is, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And once you complete it, you do unlock a little something extra, which I won't spoil, but it's well worth doing. And that's just not the end of the content. There's obviously a wealth of PvP in terms of regular, just normal turf war, where you just got to paint more of the floor than your enemy. And it is amazing to think that a game that is about painting the floor is so competitive and so fun. Now, on the competitive side, I'll get to that a bit later. I made a video about it being a bit hardcore and a bit harsh to new players, as there doesn't seem to be any differentiation between a new player skill-based matchmaking and veterans. But we'll get to that. But yeah, so apart from the PvP, which brings over maps from Splatoon 2 and weapons and adds in a whole load of new ones, you can also carry on over your Splatoon 2 save data to unlock some other extra goodies and like vouchers for you to buy some different weapons at the start of the game. They've put in a wealth of quality of life improvements to the game, which is fantastic to say the least. Now that when you start up Splatoon 3, just like Splatoon 2 and 1, you have to listen to the news reports, but on Splatoon 3 you can skip it. You just click the L3 and skip it. That is a game changer in itself. You really have no idea. Now when you spawn into the game, you can actually choose where you spawn into. You don't just pop up on the map, which is great. They've put in far too many for me to list, and I don't want to bore you to death with it. There is also a new table turf in-game card game where these packs of cards you earn by leveling up a new separate level up bar, which is specifically for the general store, and you level that up and you get goodies. I think that's their in-game battle pass. I might be wrong. I think you level it all the way up. It's free, by the way. It's completely free. But every time you level it up, you unlock something. For anything from an emote to a title card to the packs of cards, to stickers, to for little gizmos that you can put in your locker. Now your locker is just an in-game little expression of artistic style, if you will. It serves no purpose other than you can just put cool stuff in it, stickers, posters, and put stickers and posters on the outside of it as well. And there are tons of things to unlock or find through the campaign to put in there. But that's pretty cool for people who like doing that sort of thing. I've done mine just to do it. I don't think I'll keep doing it because I'm not very artistic, if I'm honest. But then we move on over to the card game. Sorry, I'll go back to the card game even. I kind of digressed there a little bit. Basically, this card game, I think there's 168 of these cards, and what these cards are different shapes, and you use these shapes to basically put as many squares on the map as you can over the enemies, and it is very addictive, very, very addictive. It even has its own leveling up system where you can unlock stuff that way as well, and just paint more of it, and you can build up special meters by making sure that you have a square around the orange squares, and then you'll get to use a special attack, so you can use even if you have no more spaces left, you can activate one with, 17 squares on over the enemies, which is really, really cool. It's very addictive, and I spent a lot of, I think I spent 6 hours straight just playing that. But it's an in-game card game that is fully in-depth and there and free. And then we move on over to the Salmon Run gameplay, which is the PvE Horde mode, basically for Splatoon. So you and 3 other people, you can go up against all the different salmonids, I think they're called, and you gotta kill them, collect their orange orbs, but also go for the golden eggs and then just harvest as many of the golden eggs as you can. Now in Splatoon 3, they've put in like new, like just it's just so much better. It's very challenging. You wouldn't think it is, but it is definitely. There are many times where you'll just get slapped on the third wave, and it, again, with Salmon Run, has its own leveling up system, its own bonus system for you to unlock things. You can collect special shells by killing special bosses. There's also mega bosses, kind of like a Godzilla style thing, that will randomly appear at the end to see if you can beat it as like a bonus fourth wave. There's just so much, and yeah, the customization for your character and for your you have a nameplate that you can apply stickers to, and you can wow, there's just so much. They've really put a lot of content into Splatoon 3, not to mention the fact the game is getting post-launch support for definitely 2 years and beyond. That's what Nintendo have said. There is a season pass, I believe, so there's going to be paid DLC coming out, but they will be given free updates as well. The latest Splatfest is next weekend, which I think I might actually stream, so if you want to come check that out, or if you want to play with me sometime on stream, or just recreationally, just let me know in the comments and I'll drop you my Discord link. Yeah, Splatoon 3 is fantastic, but the only negative I have about the game, because the game looks great, plays great, I had no bugs, no glitches, no crashes, none of that. My problem is that the regular and the competitive ranked modes of Splatoon 3 at the minute, because everybody's starting off on the same playing field, you get some X rank, which are high rank people from Splatoon 2, kicking the crap out of you. You will either get stomped or you will be on a team that stomps. Very occasionally you'll be on a team where it's neck and neck, and that's the best games when it's neck and neck, when both teams are at level skill. But here there's a lot of stomping going on, and you just got to be wary of that you may get smashed. Now, it is frustrating to have to respawn every 15 seconds, and hopefully it balances out and it sorts itself out. But if it wasn't for that issue, because it's not very new player friendly when you just keep going on and getting smashed, some people would argue and say, oh, that's how you learn. No, it isn't. You don't learn by continually getting smashed over the head by a hammer. You learn by avoiding the hammer. Actually, I don't even know where I'm going with that analogy. Ignore all of what I just said. But yeah, anyway, it's just there's a steep learning curve anyway with Splatoon. Even the fact that it's a game about painting, there's still a learning curve. But apart from that one small gripe where it's just so unbalanced at the minute on the player versus player, there's still so much to do single player and cooperative. And the fact that you can now create a lobby for yourself and your friends and being able to play with them on the same team every time, which was a massive gripe of mine on Splatoon 2, being able to play with a friend was a pain in the dick, and sometimes your friend or you would end up on the opposite team and it was just crap. But now you can have your own little lobby, and now the lobby, when you're queuing for a game, you can actually practice with your weapon and roam around this little lobby area, so you can practice your movement and your weapons, and you can see your friends running around there as well. That's pretty cool. And also excuse me, and also I think the game has in-game voice chat now. I think I use Discord myself, I haven't tried it out, but I believe it's there. But yes, it's so much easier to play with your friends, and that is a godsend. But Splatoon 3's score from me is a 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 perfect game if that the skill matchmaking was a bit more level and not so harsh. But apart from that, this is another fantastic launch game, a game from launch for Nintendo, and yeah, it's one of the best multiplayer games on the Switch, in my opinion. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.